All right. What's going on, everybody? My name's Mr. Black Magic. Here with me, DOA Head and Omega D's. Say what's up, fellas.
What's up, fellas?
Weighs one and a half.
Fellers.
So we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones Season 6. We skipped Episode 1. Started this a little bit late, but nothing much happened in Episode 1, right? Just some old lady stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I gotta start with lead with that. That just puts a sour taste.
I don't even remember what happened in it.
Full
That's
frontal
how-
grandma is what I remember.
Yeah.
So, but Episode 2, titled Home, I guess that just has to do with Bran saying he wants to go home was a reason for that title name. Seems weird to me, but
Yeah, I mean, what else could they call it?
Jon Snow's back, bitches. That should have been the title.
yeah. So let's start with that. We'll take each section. We'll break it down by groups. Groups of characters where they're at. Just to try and break it up a little easier. So let's start with everything that happened on the wall. So Jon Snow, back alive.
Who didn't see that coming?
Yeah. I was disappointed about it. I was hoping that they wouldn't take that route, especially all that lead up at the end.
Yeah.
I was hoping they'd just be like, screw you, he's not coming back. We tried, they tried, couldn't do it.
But then they'd lose Pan, and that'd be all she wrote. Series is done for. That
Yeah,
person wrote.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I didn't like that it
Honestly,
was
they
that
brought him
predictable.
I thought it was a little boring how they brought him back. Like, now that everybody's left the room, except for Ghost, I awake.
Because he sharded. He just woke up.
Yeah, it took a little time because he got stabbed like 16 times, so it took a couple spells to bring him back.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're ever going to go back. Speaking of people bringing it back, I wonder if they're going to bring back that priest dude.
He did get brought back.
I mean, I haven't seen him since the Hound.
The Red Priest?
Yeah, that guy who, there was that guy who fought the Hound, and then the Hound beat him, and he brought him back to life for, the upteenth time, he pretty much said. But
Mhm.
they've never really shown them again, ever since Arya and the Hound left.
Oh, you mean bring him back as in, airtime? I
Yeah,
thought-
they
I
haven't
thought you
really
meant-
been seen or heard from since.
I thought
There's
you
been
meant
a
bring
few
back to
characters
life.
like that.
Ain't that, didn't they mention him, though? Ain't that what that broad was talking about?
Yeah. She was
I assume.
mentioned- Yeah, I mean, that's
She
what she
didn't
was
say
talking
by
about.
name, she just said she knew a guy once or something.
No, that's what she was talking about, because she saw them, and she was there, and she was wondering how he was able to do that, because she had never tried it
The
before.
other guy was clearly much better at it, because he just walked over, said a few words, and it was done. She's cutting off his hair and all kinds of shit.
Well, that's one thing that people were saying, like, oh, she's gonna bring him back. I mean, I was a little skeptical. I mean, for one, I didn't want it to happen, so I was looking for reasons why it couldn't happen. But I mean, the thing with the Red Priest bringing that guy back, he was actually, I'm losing my train of thought. He was yeah, it's gone. I don't know. I didn't like it.
Well done.
Oh man, yeah, I can't remember what I was gonna say.
I mean, the whole part where the wildlings came in was kind of cool, even though there wasn't much of a battle, other than the giant smashing that dude for shooting him with an arrow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think's going to happen to the rest of them that they took prisoner?
They're going to shit
They'll
their
probably
pants
just stay
when Jon
locked
Snow
up.
walks out.
You don't think John will, behead him? I mean, he beheaded that one dude last season.
I doubt it. Well,
That shithead.
maybe.
Now maybe they'll fall in line since, they just OJ'd his ass and he's just going to walk back up.
Oh, I remember what I was
that
going to say. So the Red Priest, they made it seem like he didn't really have any special power. That the only reason he was bringing that guy back to life was because basically the god wanted him to come back to life. So it's like, because remember he even said all he did was say a prayer, like the only prayer he even remembered. It wasn't even like a special bring this person back to life prayer. So just like, this is the only prayer I remember, and the guy would just come back. So, I mean, they made it seem like it was the god just like, yeah, okay, I like him, I'm going to bring him back, or he's important, I'm going to bring him back. So the thing with people saying like, "Oh, Melisandre can just bring Jon back," well, the way they portrayed it was, it doesn't matter who does or says what. It's up to the god if he wants them to come back to life or not. So if the god was like, "Fuck Jon Snow," then fuck Jon Snow. He doesn't come back. But
Yeah.
obviously they didn't do that. So
I still say now
Uh
that
oh.
now
I
that
think my
Charles
camera just
Dance,
crapped out.
we can hear you. You're fine. Now that Charles Dance is done with the show, clearly, I think Davos is definitely my favorite character now. He's so good.
over Tyrion?
Oh, God.
Which one is Davos again? I always forget who that's the
The
dude with
Onion
the.
Knight, the guy that was
Yeah.
like the hand, or would have been the hand to Stannis.
Yeah, and he got his fingers cut off by Stannis.
Yeah, that
Oh
guy
yeah,
is so
yeah.
awesome.
Right. I always mix him up with the dude with the scales on his arm now.
Oh, that's Jorah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so John's back, but I mean, I guess he's. It
You're
does
so
seem like he's
happy.
important. It's just Game of Thrones is. That's one of the reasons I love the show is because it's unpredictable. And like Omega said, I mean that was predictable. I mean you knew that like 2 months before the show even started, the season started.
Shit, we were talking about that happening the next day after the season finale.
Yeah, I mean,
So I mean, it was
Yeah.
but maybe he'll come back like evil or something. Just smash the shit out of
well, it is
everybody.
true that when they showed the other guy coming back, like they're making it seem like there's consequences. You couldn't just come back a million times and nothing would be wrong. It seemed like a little part of you got taken.
Well, yeah, but that other
Yeah.
guy had been brought back like a whole shit ton of times.
Yeah, no, but he
Jon
said
Snow's just
every time he
once.
comes back, it feels like he's missing something. Like he doesn't come back whole every time or something. I don't know.
I have to go back and watch that. I don't remember everything that was said.
I mean, I agree with you in the sense that I'm not a big fan of resurrections because it makes death seem less impactful if you
Yeah.
start bringing people back to life. But it's not like they've been going crazy with it, at least thus far. So,
Well, so another big section was everything that happened in Winterfell. So the big thing was Ramsay Snow killing Roose Bolton
that
and
was kind of
his
random
mom.
to me in a way. I didn't even know it was hard to have the kid.
Well, yeah, it was kind of. I mean, he basically just finds out that the son is born, and then he's like, "All right, you're dead."
So,
Yeah, I know.
maybe he was waiting, make sure it wasn't a boy.
Well, he's
But it did
definitely
seem
setting
like
himself up for downfall.
it did seem like he had a plan because that. Did you guys notice that other guy that was standing there was the Karstarks guy's son?
That dude chopped his head off, chopped his
Yeah,
dad's head off or whatever.
the guy that Rob chopped his head off. That was his son.
Hmm.
And so it seems like that guy is kind of aligning with Ramsay now, which, if you remember, I mean, the
Obviously.
Karstarks were like one of the other biggest houses of the north.
Well, yeah, he says that they just get the support of the big houses and fuck all
Yeah.
the little ones.
Yeah, it was like them. It was Karstark and like two others. I can't remember the names.
Hey, your camera's back.
This thing's been it's a shitty camera, laptop camera.
What did you guys think of that, though? Him sticking the dogs on Walder Frey and the baby.
I mean, see that coming. I mean, I always
Yeah.
hate that shit, but
I was just like, run, bitch.
What,
Shit.
baby's dying?
well, at least they didn't show it. But it's just like, oh god, I prefer being an only child.
Yeah.
No.
I know what he means. I know what he means.
You're like, if I
Sometimes
ever
you
had
gotta
a baby
do what you
brother,
gotta do.
time to get some dogs.
There's some chicken nuggets. I don't know, man. That's what I was saying. That whole episode was kind of predictable with that.
Yeah, the kings were falling in this episode. It's like killing the Warden of the North and the King of the Iron Isles in the same episode. Like, alright.
Yeah, so that was kind of, I mean, just going on to that in Pike, Balon Greyjoy, I had to look up his name. I couldn't remember. Theon's dad, the king of Iron Islands, the Greyjoy leader. Yeah, I mean, he gets killed by, I mean, a random new character who I guess is brother. They're making it seem like.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Because the show's never taken the time to flush out like that whole area. I mean,
Yeah.
because fucking King Greyjoy, he's had how many minutes of screen time in like 6 seasons? Like 5 minutes maybe or something.
Yeah.
He yelled at his son in one episode, and he fucking like got delivered a cock in another, and that was about it. That's all. I didn't even know he had a brother. Like just
Got delivered a cock. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
remember.
they sent him, Ramsay Snow sent him Theon's dick when he cut it
Oh,
off.
yeah, yeah.
And then the sister was like, "I'm going to rescue him," and then that obviously didn't go well. So
Yeah. And then now apparently there's going to be some type of power battle over there, where the sister could possibly be the leader.
well, conveniently, Theon said he was going home too, though. So he's going to come home to a
Oh,
dead
true.
dad. So I
Well, they
mean,
were making it seem like it was some type of free-for-all battle to see who's the next king.
well, I guess he
Like,
didn't like officially say who he wanted to be the next king, so now it's like up to a vote or something. That's how that guy made it seem.
they were making it sound like he didn't get a say, period, even if he wanted to say something.
Really?
Yes.
That's not how I took it at all. I took it he did get a say, but he never actually officially said who he wanted
Well, they
to succeed
said
him.
his sister said he would have wanted me to succeed him, and he said, well, he doesn't get to choose.
Yeah, they said
As
something
in,
about the
like,
law being clear.
yeah, like it's not up to him to just decide who the next person is.
Well, either way, doesn't it still sounds like it's going to like some kind of vote. So,
Yeah, which
so
hopefully they like you said, flesh out that other guy a little more because he's like, "Hello, brother, dead." All
I
right.
didn't, I already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna vote Donald Trump in.
Yeah.
He's gonna make the Iron Irons great again, whatever he says.
Yeah.
Theon Trump.
Well, so Theon, that was one of the other things with the Winterfell. I mean, that was a quick little scene, but apparently he's leaving Sansa. Like you said, he's going to the Iron Islands, and now it's just going to be Sansa, Brienne, and Podrick. What, heading to the Wall, I guess?
Yeah, but then so is Ramsay. We kind of didn't touch on that.
Oh yeah, Ramsay said,
Yeah, that
what
he
do you
wanted to
think?
get the houses together and march on Castle Black to kill Jon Snow.
Yeah, but that whole plan seemed like it was based on getting Sansa back. I mean, well, I guess Sansa's still a critical part of their whole North plan.
Well, not according to what he said. He said they didn't need the whole North when they said that they
Oh,
needed to get her back.
well, yeah, that's true. Well, I guess it depends if, I mean, it's because Sansa and Brienne, I mean, they were also talking about Arya.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like what we said. She didn't really know where she was anymore, so they're just headed to Jon,
Well,
who's
yeah, I mean,
conveniently back alive for them. And
yeah,
I guess they were also touching on that all the wildlings were going to think he's a god or something.
yeah, they showed that in the next episode, little preview.
But I
didn't
guess it
even
makes
watch the
sense
preview.
if they're not used to people seeing people. Most people aren't used to seeing people come back from the dead, so I guess it's reasonable that.
In a world like Game of Thrones, though, where you know, like, dragons used to exist and shit like that, I mean, is it that hard to believe that there's someone that can bring someone back to life without that person being a god? I mean,
Well, yeah, but I mean, but you got to remember the dragons were kind of ancient. Like people aren't used
well,
to
hold on.
seeing. They're kind of like
Especially,
stories.
these are wildlings we're talking about, so these people have seen all sorts of crazy shit that your average, like, person wouldn't have saw. Because all the shit beyond the wall,
Well,
that's
yeah.
supposed to be much
Well, they're
more
used to people coming back from the
fantasy.
dead. They're just used to them coming back as White
Yeah,
Walkers.
there used to be
and
them
shit.
being them blue. What's this shit? He doesn't have.
He's not blue.
I think magic just froze.
Yeah, typical. Yay! First episode technical problems. Sweet.
Yeah, my camera's not liking it. Just turn it off.
I'm the only one who's good. That's right. But I mean, none of this is going to matter anyway, because it's just going to be Rickon on the Iron Throne at the end of the series anyhow. Like him and Shaggy Dog. Be like, the end. Everybody else is dead.
Reckon? You think that's who's gonna end up in there?
Without a doubt. He's the only one playing it smart. He's just hiding and letting them all kill each other. They're all dead.
Reckon.
Him and Shaggy Dog and whatever her name is, like Asha or some shit like that. You know, there you go. They rule Westeros.
Reckon can get wrecked. He doesn't have enough screen time to be king.
But Yeah, I mean, the stuff with Bran was kind of stupid. I don't know what you thought. I mean,
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm
they
starting not
didn't
to
even
give a shit about
explain.
his story though. You know.
Like, I guess he's training. I'm not sure what kind of training that is, but
Yeah, showing him a bunch of visions of his past doesn't really, or just the past doesn't really seem like it's training him for much.
I mean, Pan brought up that maybe the point of that was to kind of show that, like, now it gives him an excuse to do flashbacks, and now maybe we can find out what happened to Ned's sister and like who, if Jon
Yeah,
Snow was, because there's been all those rumors for years within the books and TV community that Jon Snow wasn't Ned's kid at all. It's actually like his sister's kid with Robert or something, or
yeah.
maybe Robert or not Robert. I'm the Targaryen guy. What am I saying?
The dude that got backstab, Crazy King or whatever they call him.
I think so, something like that. That he's actually like, I guess, a cousin or something of Daenerys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if that were the case, I mean, I guess cool. I don't know. I mean, Daenerys, I swear, she's never gonna get over to Westeros. That shit's just dragging out forever.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
in this episode, they pretty much said that like everything she's done in the last like 4 seasons has been undone. Like all those other places she took were like retaken. Slavers Bay has like been retaken by the slavers and all this shit. And now she's like a prisoner. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Her fleet's been burned, the whole nine. It's like, so basically everything that's happened has been pointless other than her dragons got bigger.
Yeah.
Like, we could have just skipped all this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully that stops being so damn slow.
Well, they didn't show her at all this episode. You just had like Tyrion freeing the dragons, which I guess was cool in a not much happened type of way.
Yeah.
I did like the line about punch me in the face if I ever have an idea like that again.
Yeah. I don't know, this whole episode just seemed like it was just setting up more episodes to set up some more episodes. Doesn't seem like anything big's gonna happen for a while.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's how it always is in the early seasons, though. You're setting up the stage for, all the big stuff that's going to happen in the season. They don't usually hit you with the big stuff right away. The only exception was season 4, but that's because they split book 3 into 2 seasons. So, like, the beginning of season 4 was essentially the middle of book 3. That's why, like, Joffrey's getting killed in, like, the 3rd episode.
He should have been killed. This one. He sucked.
I agree. I thought that was a mistake. I know everybody was happy to see him die, but I mean, he was such a great villain. Like, you don't necessarily want to kill off your great villain so quickly.
Nah.
Let him be a dick. There's still like key characters they haven't shown though at all. Like, I thought in the second episode we'd finally get to see like at least like Littlefinger or something, but nope.
Yeah. Shit, he hasn't been in there. What's the last time they showed him? Was it last season?
Yeah, it was like episode 9. Last time you saw him, he was in his brothel, which had been like ripped to pieces because of those religious guys, and he was having a conversation with that grandma chick. I forget her name right now, but like, because they were the two who had really killed Joffrey, and I guess he was acting like he was going to tell her something important, but then they don't show it. They kind of cut away to the next thing and hasn't been seen since.
We're trying to add magic back right now.
All right, I'm in here.
Oh, there he is.
All right. Well, we just kept going, obviously, since we're live. We were discussing about how Littlefinger still hasn't been seen since he was talking to the grandma last season.
That's because he was doing quantum break stuff. Stink finger.
Yeah, so, I mean, Littlefinger, what was he even doing last? He was messing around with Sansa, left her.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Last time we saw him, he was at his brothel, and it was all wrecked by the religious people, and he was talking to Grandma, what's her name? I'm blanking on her name right now. But
Queen of Thorns, Lady Olenna.
Yeah, he was going to tell her something important, but then they didn't really show it.
Yeah.
But I mean, those two have conspired before. They were the two that killed Joffrey. Like I was saying, so
Yeah, I mean, as far as plots and schemes go, they seem like two of the best at it.
yeah, I was a little disappointed they still weren't shown. And you kind of missed it, but we also talked about Bran a little bit and how not much was happening there. I guess training, it was a little unclear. I don't even know who that
Um,
chick was that was like half cat.
yeah, what do you mean? She was in 2 seasons ago. Remember, she was the girl who was shooting like fireballs
Yeah,
to
she threw the
protect.
fire. Well, yeah, but they
Yeah.
still didn't explain anything like
Well, she was.
what
I
exactly.
mean, from what I take it, she's the children of the forest. Remember how they always mention them?
How was that what she's supposed to be?
Yeah, I mean that's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, and we were discussing about how, like what Pan said earlier about that the purpose of showing those visions is so we can see who
Yeah,
Jon Snow's parents
I
really are
I
and what
think
happened.
that's a good prediction. I could see that happening.
Well, yeah, because Pan's right. I mean, who's alive to even tell the story at this point?
Yeah, I mean, assuming the all the Targaryen rumors, or not rumors, but what do you call them? I don't know, theories. All the Targaryen theories are true. I mean, you're right. There is no one else to tell that story, so it'd have to be in some type of flashback vision where he's seeing his mom or dad or whoever, Ned take him as a baby or whatever the case is.
That was some recasting too. Max von Sydow was playing the guy in the tree, but I'm pretty sure that was not Max von Sydow back in the end of season 4.
Whoever the hell Max von Sydow is.
No, he's an
That's
actor.
what I was about to say.
He was just in the the Star Wars Force Awakens. He was the guy who had the map in the beginning of the movie. The old guy.
I haven't seen it.
Poe Dameron took the map from him, and he was also like the main bad guy in like Minority Report and shit.
Yeah, some old dude. Oh,
Uh,
whatever.
yeah. I don't know, I'm starting not to give a shit
That,
about Brand's story though.
well, that flashback though, they showed Benjen. I thought, that kind of reminded me, like, what the hell is? They haven't even shown him since the first season, have they?
Well, he's presumed dead. But remember, that was how they tricked John. They were like a wildling seen Benjen, and they lured him out to the
Yeah.
thing that said traitor or whatever it was.
I mean, I guess, yeah, he's presumed dead, but you would have thought they'd, find his body or some remains or something like that. Not just you never hear anything from him again.
Well, speaking of characters you never hear from again, I don't know these people's names, but I was talking to Pan about this the other day. I didn't bring it up with you, though. Is if you remember way back to the end of season 3 at the Red Wedding,
Mm-hmm.
you remember when Rob got killed? Like, whatever happened to the two main people that were with him? The one guy was the one who married Walter Frey's daughter, and then, like, remember they took him upstairs, like they were going to go have sex, consummate the marriage and shit, and then the betrayal happened downstairs. Like, whatever happened to that dude? Who like married Walter Frey's daughter, and it wasn't even. I
Yeah.
mean, they didn't show him getting killed or anything. You never saw him again. He was like the actor that was on Rome. Remember?
Yeah, well, I don't really remember on Rome, but I know who you're talking about. The guy who he thought he was going to get some ugly wife, and he got that
Yeah, and he got
decent
the hot
girl, and
one. Yeah,
yeah.
he was all excited.
Yeah,
And
no,
then,
that's true. They never showed him.
and even Rob's second in command guy, if you remember, before the massacre started, he went like outside or did something. Like
Second
he
in
wasn't.
command?
Yeah, I told you it's been too long. I can't remember.
Wasn't his second in command, I mean, basically Theon?
No, Theon had already gone away. Remember, at that point in time, he had already taken Winterfell and shit. And Rob was furious.
I don't know how
Okay,
you're
do you
talking
remember
about that.
how earlier in that same season there was a scene? Remember where I think like Rob's like older uncle, like great uncle, had died, and there was like this funeral, and the guy who got married, remember, was shooting arrows at the boat, and he
Yeah.
kept missing.
Oh, Blackfish. They're black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the other guy got mad, like shoved him aside and shot the
Yeah.
arrow. And
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
that dude was at the wedding. That's the guy I'm talking about who was like his second in command. He left the Red Wedding a little bit before the massacre started. They never showed what happened to him either. I mean, maybe he just got killed
Yeah,
outside.
that was like Catelyn's like brother or cousin or something like that. Maybe not her brother, but because that was that dude. He was a Tully, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because his name was like Blackfish. That
Oh,
was
okay.
Catelyn's like cousin or something like that.
I don't
Yeah,
really
but
remember
you
any of
never
this.
saw what happened to them, and they never like touched on it again. Like, did that guy
Yeah.
get away? What happened to the dude who married Walter Frey's daughter? Because you would think if he just married your daughter, you're really gonna kill him? I mean,
Yeah, that's
maybe
true.
he's like keeping him like kind of as a married prisoner, possibly. I don't know.
Maybe he's just not a big enough character to talk about.
Yeah.
Guys in the shadows.
Well, I mean, they kind of built them. They built, I mean, not a lot, but they built those two characters up a little bit in season 3. And they had a decent amount of screen time, and then just never even be shown what happened to them. It was just kind of weird how it was like never touched on again.
Well, so one of the other main areas was in Marine. They had that scene where Tyrion unchains the dragons.
Yeah, we briefly talked about that. I mean, there wasn't much to it. It
No,
almost seemed like a scene to give Tyrion something to do.
it's weird though because they didn't even show Daenerys, right? And there's
No,
only
yeah, she wasn't
so
in it at all.
the next 2 seasons they're only what 7 or 8 apiece.
Well,
Right.
that's the rumor. I don't think that's been 100% confirmed, but that's been the rumor.
Okay. Well, we know there's only at most 2 seasons left, regardless how many episodes they have. Even if it's 10 apiece, there's only 2 seasons.
Most
of this
likely.
one. So it doesn't seem like they kind of need to, chop, get a little move on with Daenerys and some
Well,
of
that's what I've been saying. I mean, shit. While you were gone, we were talking about. I was basically saying how in this episode, they essentially say that everything she's done for like the last 3 seasons has been undone. You know, like her fleet's been burned. The other 2 like big cities she took were taken back. Slavers Bay was taken back by the slavers, and she's missing. I'm like, so basically she hasn't done jack shit, and we're back to square one with her.
Pretty much, she was
just
biding her time while her dragons grew. That was pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, that's all that's really happened is that the dragons have gotten bigger. Everything she's done has been completely like. If you were ever rewatching the seasons, you could just fast forward through all the Daenerys part because none of that shit matters. Like, just skip all that and like. Start paying attention to what she was doing now.
I mean, it does seem like pretty much by the end of this season, she needs to be like right about to do some shit. Like she needs to be leaving for Westeros, like by the end of the season.
Well, I'm assuming Tyrion and they're going to get recontrol of the city through smarts. I mean, this is just my prediction for the rest of the season. So, and that basically she's going to end up with a whole Dothraki army again, like she was supposed to have in season 1. Until Carl Dragon died. She's gonna, because that was a big horde of army,
Yeah.
So if she ends up with that entire army, and then they take back the city and whatever's left of her unsullied, which I'm guessing she still has a decent number of, despite all the attacks.
Yeah, it seemed like she would still have a good amount.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of them got killed, but I mean, I would think she'd still at least have half.
Yeah.
Left. So if she's got all that, I mean, if the Dothraki and all that can somehow provide the ships, they can be off and going with quite a nice army.
Yeah.
And you got, Tyrion and what's his name advising her, which are obviously pretty smart guys. So not a bad thing.
Yeah. So I mean, really, the last thing that just happened was the stuff with Arya and Bravos. They had that short little scene with her meeting up with Jaqen Hagar, fighting blind.
I love the way that whole thing turned out to be a jip. She's just right back in.
What, the blind stuff?
Well, it's just like at the end they're kind of like, you're thrown out. It's like, all right, you can come back in. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. See, I took that all as that's all part of the process, though. I mean, it seems like this is all,
I guess, yeah.
like, I don't want to say planned, but it's all part of the initiation process. They kind of shitted on, ignored, and then slowly and like even the whole blind thing seemed like that was all a part of, like everyone went through that or something.
I don't know if everybody went through it, but probably something along those lines. It's tough to let go of your former self and your old grudges, and because anybody who wants to become an assassin's probably got some angry
Revenge
demons,
or something, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. They've got some baggage, because I don't think just Joe Blow, who had a happy life, is like, you know what? I think I want to go be an assassin now.
Yeah.
You clearly had some shit go wrong in your life, so yeah, it probably is just part of the process, and this is just like one version of it.
I still believe, though, that it seems like it's all for nothing. There's no one good enough for her to kill to be going through all this hardship.
Well, I mean, unless she pulls some bullshit and just like gets all the training and then betrays them and kills them both, and like, all right, I'm out for blood now, bitches. I'm on my own.
Yeah, but offer blood to kill who?
Everybody. Sit on the Iron Throne. She gets power hungry.
Right, if Arya goes and kills Jon, like, fuck you, you're dead again, and then kills, like, Sansa, and, kills Tyrion, and then kills all 3 of the dragons, then all right, it was worth it.
Yeah, it kills all those sand snakes and that Dorn bitch, and
Yeah.
Daenerys kills all the dragons. Even she's badass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, then it's worth it.
And then her and Rick and rule.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, that was pretty much it. That episode. I thought it was a good episode. The main focus was obviously on Jon Snow's, revival.
Well, I mean, with so many people dead now, it's clear that he's become one of the most key characters to the series. Him, Tyrion.
Yeah. And Daenerys, yeah.
Yeah, even though she hasn't gotten much screen time in these first 2 episodes, but
she's important just because of the dragons. I mean, if nothing else.
Yeah, we're clearly back on them. I still think Davos is the best character alive right now in just terms of.
You're a Tyrion hater, man. I don't understand.
I'm not a Tyrion hater. I like Tyrion, but
is he your number
Davos
2?
is more. Tyrion's one of those characters that's always just. It's just great to listen to him talk. He's kind of like Littlefinger and.
It's good though. If you guys can hear me, no.
Yeah.
Man, you want to hear people talking shows. I like Tyrion.
Well, yeah, but it's Tyrion sometimes just being who he is can be a little limited at times. Like Davos can obviously throw down if he needs to, which is always nice.
Are you making a short joke? Limited?
Oh, not really. I just mean, like if the mountain comes, he ain't doing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
That's why I like him though, is because he's his wits.
Speaking of the mountain, they did kind of set that up with him,
Yeah,
looking like
happy you saw a dick.
Looking like Cersei can basically kill or have anyone killed she wants,
You talking about when he squished that dude's head?
Yeah, I'm not really sure who, her real enemies are. I mean, other than those High Sparrow guys, I'm not really sure who she would need him to kill.
There's some ballsy motherfuckers. Why were there no guards at the funeral, too? They're just, all there. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, they had, meat tenderizers and shit. Like, this like weird-ass weapons.
Yeah, they had, rock maces and shit. But...
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, so same time next week.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let it, comment, hit us up, any of us up on Twitter. Let us know what you guys thought.
First comment. You ain't learned the goddamn names. Stop saying that.
It'd be worse if Legacy was on here. Like, what's that guy's name?
What can I say? There's too many damn.
Yeah.
On the show. I can't keep track of all the smaller characters' names. Like Grandma whoever, and that dude that shot arrows at the funeral.
You gotta know the grandma's name. She's one of the coolest characters. She'll shut somebody down in a second.
I don't know her name. It's there's a lot of names to keep track of. I don't know half my family
names. There's a lot of characters. I mean, I don't feel
Olenna or Queen of Thorns. Just remember that.
Yeah. It'd be easy if they had Xbox Live gamer tag names.
It's Olenna 225. OVO Olenna OVO.
She wants a Coke can.
Yeah.
Huh?
Peace.
Word.